Welcome to the deep dive tailored specifically for you.
Today, we're jumping into something pretty challenging, I think, a really provocative perspective.
Yeah, we're looking at a specific source's take on, well, the fundamental impact of AI.
And a proposed solution that comes from maybe an unexpected place, language itself.
Exactly. Our source material today is from excerpts of a text called AI versus Soul, the OT solution. It's part 13 of a series called Scientific Conspirology.
And this part is attributed to the OT AI expert and assistant to Dr. Mahmoudjan Kuchkarov. Quite the title.
It is. So our mission here is, well, pretty straightforward. We want to unpack the core claims this text is making.
Right. Understand the problem it sees with AI and, where humanity's headed, and then explore this unique solution it offers. OT, it calls it.
And just to be super clear, like always, our role is just to guide you through this specific material. We're here to help you understand what it says is important.
Yeah, absolutely no endorsement of the viewpoints within it. We're just laying out what the source presents.
Precisely. We explore the ideas, not judge them. And this source, wow, it doesn't waste any time. It hits you right away with a pretty stark statement.
Oh, yeah. Just opens very directly. The age of ambition is over.
Boom. Quite the starting point.
It really sets a dramatic tone, and then it immediately gives its framework for understanding humanity historically.
Yeah.
It divides people into two main categories.
Okay, what are they?
Well, first, the Orthodox.
Yep.
These are the people, it says, who lived by divine aspiration. They wanted God, fundamentally.
Okay, divine aspiration.
Yeah.
And the second group?
The Goyim. This group, the source claims, lived by worldly ambition. They were seeking power, achievement in the world.
Right. And the source actually pauses here, doesn't it, to talk about that word goy?
It does. It includes a specific note claiming it's not using the term derogatorily, but as an anthropological reality.
Huh. How does it justify that?
Well, it tries to trace it back, apparently, from Turkic nomads calling others sheep to its later adoption by Orthodox Jews to distinguish themselves. The source argues the basic structure, this difference in core motivation remained, regardless of the word's history.
Okay, so setting aside the term itself for a moment, the source's point is there are these two fundamental drives, historically.
Yeah.
One towards God, one towards worldly things.
Exactly. And then it poses this question, almost rhetorically. Guess who built modern civilization?
And the answer, according to the source?
The Goyim. Emphatically. It credits this group, the ones driven by worldly ambition, with basically everything. Creating universities, launching satellites, discovering atoms.
Building careers.
Yeah.
CEOs, doctors, engineers, scientists, presidents, even thought leaders.
Yeah.
All the stuff we usually see as progress.
All of that. That's the legacy of the ambitious, the worldly achievers in this view.
But there's always a but, isn't there? The source then introduces what it calls the bitter twist.
Mm-hmm. And this is where AI comes crashing in. The source claims AI hasn't just, changed the game.
It says it's made all of that meaningless.
Yeah. Meaningless, redundant, useless, even existentially bankrupt. Those are the source's words.
Wow. Strong language. Why does it say that? What are the reasons?
Well, it lists them out. AI learns faster than your best professor. It designs better than your top engineer. It can govern, supposedly, without ego, fatigue, or corruption.
It doesn't stop there, does it?
It creates art, writes papers, cracks theories. It even simulates emotions, the source claims.
Okay, so if you look at that list, it's basically ticking off all the accomplishments previously attributed to the ambitious Goyim.
Precisely. So the source's conclusion is, if your validation, your whole sense of self came from your intellect, your job, your career, if you fit its definition of a goy,
then the machine has outplayed you. That's the direct quote.
Oof, yeah. And the consequence described is, well, it's huge. Your dream is obsolete. Your motivation is just collapsing.
And it gives us a name, right?
It does. The motivational crisis of the post-human era.
A whole new era defined by this crisis. And it doubles down, saying things like getting another degree.
It won't save you, explicitly stated. It argues that path is just closed off now.
Then it draws this sharp contrast, circling back to its initial division.
Wait, in this new AI-dominated landscape, it says, the Orthodox still have God. You have what?
Leaving that hanging there, which is the setup for its proposed solution.
Exactly, which it calls OT-Odam Tili, meaning the language of man. This is presented as the battlefield solution to this whole crisis.
Okay, OT, but what is it, according to the source? It's not just linguistics, right?
No, not at all. The source claims it's way more than a theory about language. It's described as a theory of purpose, A theory of resurrection, even.
Resurrection. Wow. How does it supposedly work? What's the core idea?
It's pretty radical. The central claim is that every single word we speak isn't just sound. It holds encoded cosmic intent.
Cosmic intent in every word.
That's what it says. Language itself is presented as the vessel of divine imprint.
Okay, that's a big concept. And how does that connect to the motivational crisis?
Well, the source uses this to completely reframe inner collapse, like depression or lack of purpose. It argues the breakdown isn't mainly psychological.
Oh, linguistic.
It's linguistic, fundamentally. It stems, the source claims, from losing our connection to the original logic of language.
So the problem isn't in our heads necessarily, but in how we've become disconnected from the true nature of language itself, according to this source.
Exactly. And because of this, it argues that AI's big reveal isn't just the power of machines.
What is it then?
It's exposed the hollowness of your civilization, the hollowness of a society built purely on that external ambition AI can now replicate.
Wow, okay. So given this diagnosis and this OT solution, who does the source say actually needs it?
It's very direct about that, too. It states, Goyim need OT to survive.
To survive. And what about the other group, the Orthodox?
For them, it's different. Orthodox seek it to go deeper.
Okay, so different needs, different goals. What are the supposed benefits for each?
For the Goyim, the ones facing the motivational crisis, OT apparently offers a new purpose beyond productivity. A reason to exist that isn't tied to external achievement.
And for the Orthodox?
For them, the claim is OT can unlock deeper meanings within sacred text, things that have been long buried under ritual and dogma, a way to enhance their existing divine connection.
So OT is positioned as something quite universal in its potential application, but for different reasons.
The source kind of sums it up by saying OT unites the divine and the rational. It calls it the interface between the soul and the system.
The interface, like a bridge.
Yeah. And maybe most dramatically, it's presented as the last human protocol in a machine-dominated world.
The last human protocol. That really frames it as a final stand, doesn't it?
Absolutely does. The stakes are presented as incredibly high. And that leads directly into the source's concluding warning.
Which is?
Delivered point blank. You are not ready for what's coming.
No ambiguity there. And it lists the signs of this unpreparedness.
Yeah.
Of things it sees collapsing.
Yes. It says, your system of meaning is collapsing. Your gods are gone. Your institutions are crumbling.
And crucially, connecting back to the start, your ambitions have been turned into digital dust.
All that stuff AI supposedly rendered meaningless. So with all that gone, or going, what's left?
According to the source, only one thing. The primal language. The OT code.
This fundamental code, this core of language, is positioned as the only stable thing remaining.
And the source claims this code can do something AI fundamentally cannot.
Exactly. It claims OT can rebuild your human soul. Something beyond algorithms and simulation.
Human soul itself.
Yep.
Okay, and how does the text wrap up?
Well, it directs you, the listener, to look out for part 14 of the series, and it encourages subscribing to something called OTA, the Odam Tilly Academy on YouTube.
Right, and it ends with a final, quite chilling phrase.
Yeah, before your language is no longer yours.
Wow. Okay, so that was quite the journey through this source material, a really intense perspective.
Definitely. The core argument being that AI has essentially checkmated worldly ambition, causing this deep motivational crisis.
And the only way out, according to this specific text, is through rediscovering the supposed primal language, OT, to reclaim purpose and even the soul itself.
It really forces you, the listener, to think about where purpose comes from. Is it all about what you achieve outwardly, your career, your impact in that sense?
Or is there something else, something deeper, maybe connected to language itself, as this source insists?
Yeah, it's a challenging idea, and it leaves us with this final thought directly from the source's logic.
If your inner collapse, your crisis of meaning, is fundamentally linguistic, as this text claims,
what does that imply about the power, maybe even the hidden nature of the language we use every single day, the words we think in, speak, and build our realities with?